Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Shannon Attaway, Head of Events Marketing at WealthEngine, and I'd like to welcome you to this quarter's CEO Speaks webinar entitled Data-Driven Marketing, How We is Paving the Way. Today's presentation features WealthEngine's Co-Executive Board Chairman, Tony Glowacki, and newly appointed CEO, Mark Logan. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you that we are recording this session, therefore your phone lines are muted. A link to the recording as well as PowerPoint slides will be available approximately 24 hours after the webinar. Throughout the presentation, you are welcome to address your questions via the question and answer box, and our staff will answer the questions as we go. The most relevant questions will be addressed during the Q&A portion. For those Twitter users on today's call, we are live tweeting this conversation, and we hope that you'll join us. So be sure to follow us at WealthEngine using the hashtag WeCEOSpeaks. At this time, I'm pleased to turn things over to Tony Glowacki so he can get us started. Tony, it's all yours.
All right. Thanks, Shannon. And thank all of you for taking time out of your busy days to check in and see what's going on at WealthEngine. I'm excited in one of the first roles as co-chairman of the board to introduce our new CEO, Mark Logan. And Mark brings to us just a wealth of experience, using a bit of a pun, on driving companies through exciting growth periods. And he brings the experience that comes from all the way back to starting his own company with a number of folks, one of the original CRMs in the marketplace, up through working with much bigger and different companies over the history. And so we're excited to have Mark on board. Excited to have him here to lead the company through the next evolution, which we believe is going to be a really fun ride. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mark, and he's going to lead you through the CEO presentation. Mark?
Well, Tony, thanks very much for the kind introduction, and hello and welcome to all those participants that are signed on. I'm really humbled by this opportunity that Tony has invited me into to be the CEO of this terrific company. There's great tradition, great culture, great innovation, and great customers. So this is really going to be a fun ride, Tony, and I appreciate all of your stewardship and support. And good afternoon to all of those of you that are dialed in. This is great. This is not only my first public speaking opportunity with this audience, but it's an opportunity to continue to enhance the branding and positioning of WealthEngine, a company that is steeped in success and innovation. Tony mentioned briefly a little bit of my background. I've spent my entire career in software and growth-oriented software companies, and as I dive into this discussion today, there's really two things that I think I've attributed the success of those companies I've been involved in. It's innovation and customer success. And I've found if you focus on the innovation of your solution and if you focus on your client success, then all sorts of good things happen. So with that, we're going to dive into this presentation on data-driven marketing and how WealthEngine's paving the way. We'll go through a number of different ways in which the market is defining data-driven marketing. It's around analytics. It's around understanding your customers and maybe even more importantly, your prospects better and better to drive better results for you. So we talk about this new evolution, this age of personalization, and I'll take you through a little soundbite story here. So am I hitting the slides here, Shannon? Okay, I'm going to be driving here. All right, there we go. So we call this the age of personalization, and if you think back to the old, I'll call it the corner store or the corner bank, the notion of one-to-one marketing was very common. Everybody knew your name, everybody knew your kids, and it was a more collegial type of interaction. And then as time passed, we ushered in the area of mass marketing and massive direct mail campaigns and so forth. And the industry got very, very good at delivering lots and lots of unqualified prospects information and a shotgun type of approach. And now the consumers and markets have come back to what we'll call more of a one-to-one marketing, but more mass personalization. So no longer can I afford to operate the corner store and know everything about everybody in a one-to-one sense. I need to lean on my technology and my innovation to know everything possible about my existing customers and my future customers. And we at WealthEngine have delivered up solutions over the years that are getting more and more refined to do just that, to provide mass personalization for our customers. Okay. So customers are demanding this. They're expecting marketers and fundraisers to use data and targeted outreach on messages. I shouldn't be getting coupons for baby products because my 3 boys are ages 16, 18, and 20. I should be getting information and marketing on colleges, or since I have 2 dogs, on animal rights and animal health issues. There's an expectation that I have in my family. I'll get the right message at the right time with the right offers and the right coupons and asking for the right donations and so forth. And the success rate, the better a nonprofit or a college or a luxury brand provider, the better they are at fully understanding their prospects and customers, the greater uptake and the greater success and close rate they'll maintain. So in this world, we're seeing the intersection point of a number of different sources in which customers and consumers consume data and consume information and do their product research. So everything from LinkedIn to Facebook to opt-in emails to Twitter to loyalty rewards programs, et cetera, et cetera. So everybody's heard of big data. I've just referenced social media. There's the notion of real-time and alerts coming in through our mobile devices. So consumers are expecting marketers to use multiple sources and the right source to communicate data and speak to them personally and deliver the relevant information at the relevant time. So the old days of just pure direct mail campaigns, not suggesting that that's gone away, but the right mail campaign at the right time. When my junior in high school is looking at colleges, receiving a proactive alert at that point in time, recruiting somebody that has his set of interests. When lifestyle events occur, hitting those prospects with the right message at the right time. And maybe that's at the point of sale. Maybe that's at a lifestyle occurrence, an event, et cetera. So research will show if I'm a fundraiser and I hit a potential donor at the right time with the right message and the right ask amount, my success will go up dramatically. So, data-driven marketing. This is a new category, not simply defined by WealthEngine, but really those folks that are on listening that are out in the market will start to hear this more and more frequently. Marketeers, chief marketing officers, or those individuals that are chief fundraisers are more and more relying on analytics to make determinations about how they will go to market and how they'll reach their customers and prospective donors. Gartner Group does call it data-driven marketing. So for 15 years, WealthEngine has provided the best wealth profiles, the best data, the best scores in the entire industry. Now organizations are starting to take note of this ongoing track record that we've established for many years. So I mentioned earlier Gartner Group. We were so pleased earlier this month when the Gartner Group attributed and highlighted WealthEngine for our leadership in this category. They just came out with the Cool Vendor Report earlier this month, and it highlights 5 emerging companies, one of which is WealthEngine. They talk about the innovative technologies used to provide prospects and lead scoring. So this is going to be a key category. More and more we'll hear data-driven marketing, audience development, and lead scoring as ways in the B2C market, the business to consumer market, that companies will help out in profiling their prospective buyers, their prospective donors, and so forth. So why were we selected? Well, they did recognize us for our innovative technology, our unique data analytics, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this presentation, and they believe that we've been on the forefront of big data and wealth intelligence earlier and at a greater and more substantial scale than anybody else in the industry. So I think that a couple of the takeaways from the Gartner Group acknowledgement, I guess first, anybody doing business with WealthEngine can feel comfortable that they are working with the aforementioned leader in these key categories, and that you're getting the best data and the best analytics, the best algorithms that are available in the market. So let me highlight some of the key differentiators. What sets us apart? Why were we attributed as one of the top 5 vendors in the entire industry by Gartner Group? So there's a couple of things that we do differently. First, we have a database of 210 million people in the U.S. That represents 89% of the entire U.S. population. Our technology is honed and tuned such that we can provide sub-second response time to any queries. How do we move that forward? To any queries in that database. We do this by merging 65 different data sources so that in this merged data, we're able to provide the best possible analytics. So we're at the intersection point between B2B and B2C. There are currently 7.1 million millionaires in the U.S., and capturing that data and serving it up at the right time is what we provide for you. Okay? So what do we do? Do you want to spend time with unqualified alumni or patients or donors or low net worth consumers? The answer is obvious. No, you don't. There's an incredible efficiency gained by directing your message to those audiences that are most inclined to be donors for your cause. WealthEngine has all the data that can provide not only insight into wealth statistics, but also with our proprietary P2G scores, our propensity to give scores, we provide a stack ranking of the wealth ability and net worth, along with the likelihood and inclination to make donations based on a whole series of algorithms that have been honed over 15 years of work in this industry with over 10,000 different customers. All those skills are also leveraged in other areas, in areas such as luxury goods, luxury brands, in ascertaining whether a high net worth individual is likely to bring their assets and move them to a new a private bank, et cetera, et cetera. WealthEngine removes all of the unqualified audiences to serve up only the most likely to purchase, to donate, to do an asset transfer. So here's how WealthEngine does it. We provide a series of building blocks. We've removed all of the guesswork. If I were to oversimplify, there's 4 large areas that we provide value to our customers, and it's worth spending a moment on them. First and foremost, we typically start with a screening. Screening existing donors, screening alumni at colleges and universities. We'll screen best customers, et cetera. And with that screening, we append a whole host of different attributes. Of course, it starts with wealth screening and assigning our scoring methodology, our proprietary scoring methodology. Again, we call it the P2G scores. In addition, post-screening, we'll start to apply our predictive analytics. So we can do things like modeling. Take your best donors or your best alums or the most grateful patients, we'll look at a lookalike model, and we'll create that, and we can then go off with those lookalike analytics models and find other prospects that look just like them. Same age, same lifestyle attributes, similar family scenario. We've got over 2,100 different attributes we could apply in some of those predictive analytic models. Then, leveraging our audience development capabilities, we'll go out and find prospects like that. So there's no end to the predictive analytics that we can provide. I've given one illustration, but time doesn't allow for us to go through all of the different types of modeling that we could do for our customers. Audience development is a new category that's gaining more and more momentum. Back to the very first slide, in which we talked about the mass marketing versus mass personalization, audience development looks to build those groups of prospects that are most inclined towards whatever your specific mission might be. So we use our predictive analytics to work with our customers to understand exactly the ideal type of prospect, removing all the guesswork, leveraging screening of your existing customers or donors, to then develop audiences, pull them together, and provide our customers access through our Find Wealth platform, our tool that allows ongoing screening, etc. You'll see here on the screen another very innovative feature of our solution called Circle of Friends. We've found this to be a very effective tool for our customers and prospects. So imagine if you know that an individual that sits on a nonprofit board, on an animal rights nonprofit board, also sits on a faith-based nonprofit board, and also on a college or university board. Well, I'll bet that individual has a network of other like-minded individuals that have perhaps similar wealth scores, that has similar interests. So we're able to, through our software and our solution, provide that extended network of prospects for warm referrals. It's a great area of innovation that we can talk about with our customers in more greater detail. The last area worth noting is our WeProspect. WeProspect, we'll go to the next slide in just a moment to show you a screenshot, helps with real-time prospect generation. I'm going to move to that right now. So you'll see on the screen a couple of screenshots of what we can provide. This WeProspect is another lens. It's a tool. It's a software solution that is a front end for the large 210 million person database that we referred to earlier. So with WeProspect, we can go off and launch with a very easy-to-use tool any query under the sun to find any prospect base under the sun. So, for example, I could say the Humane Society is opening up a new branch in San Diego. So using WeProspect, I could very quickly plug in a query, show me all of the high net worth people with a net worth of over $5 million that live within 25 miles of San Diego, that have 3 kids and 2 dogs and are interested in animal rights. What WeProspect would do in a sub-second fashion would be to serve up a list. I'll take a guess in a flyer. There's probably 4,000 people that meet that criteria. So if I'm a customer of WealthEngine and I'm using this query, I could then decide, yes, I want you to go get me that list. I hit go. The list is generated and delivered to me inside of 10 seconds, and now I have a prospect list with which I can work with. If I say to myself, well, 4,000 is a few too many, I'm going to refine that criteria. Show me only those individuals that are over 10 million in net worth and that have made a contribution to an animal rights interest in the last 12 months. Well, now I might refine my list down to a more workable 900 individuals, and I work off of that. Or I'll give another illustration. I might be a private bank, and I might be opening up a new branch, and I'm looking for younger high net worth individuals that maybe don't have a relationship with a private banker. So I could say, show me all the people within a 25-mile radius or 50-mile radius of Miami Beach that have a net worth of over $5 million, that own 2 boats and are ages 26 to 33. Again, list is generated, and instantaneously I can say, send me that list. And it will be propagated into my Find Wealth 8 results, and then I can work on it. We also, and you'll see the little star here, have provided new email verification. So what that is all about is it's a service within Find Wealth 8 that allows us to verify that the emails are valid prior to launching any campaigns, whether they're email blast campaigns or very directed targeted ad campaigns around the specific topic of choice. So we want to make sure that we validate and verify the email is current and active prior to using it in any campaign. Very innovative stuff. All right, moving on. This is if we had a drum roll, Shannon, I'd ask for a drum roll, please, because this is a very exciting aspect of our new innovative roadmap. Just last week, we introduced to the public the new WealthEngine API. And this uses wealth data to personalize sales, marketing, and engagement strategies in real time. We're going to be attracting all application developers with appropriate application areas, and both third-party and internal applications. And we're going to go through a few different examples and illustrations of the types of applications that might be appropriate. But I think you need to picture any application that you're running in-house today that was either a proprietary homegrown or a third-party, perhaps donor management system or reservation system, any application that could use wealth data in a real-time fashion. So I'll move to the next. What this third-party API is an easy way to let your applications directly access that same very, very large 210 million person database, and it allows you to gain access to all of our data, all of our capabilities in real time. Our goal is to sign up literally hundreds of application developers in the next year. We're going to do a formal product launch in, last week we did a formal product launch, and we're doing a roadshow in Silicon Valley in the beginning part of June. We see this as having applicability in dozens and dozens of different areas. Into any donor management system. So picture all of the different donor management systems. If you have your fundraisers that are on the phone at any given time, we can provide linkage through this third-party, this open API interface into our database with relative ease. API benefits would include all of the same benefits of our standard Find Wealth 8, but in this case, we're tightly embedded into the fabric of your operations and the either third parties that you work with or with your homegrown applications. We believe the integration process would be measured in weeks, not months, at very, very nominal cost. And we've got up on our website access to the API Developers Kit to sign up for, to try to get a sense for the ease with which this integration could take place. A couple of different areas, and many of these examples are commercial in orientation, but to get maybe the creative thoughts going, the different types of application areas. Hotel check-in. Well, if I check into a hotel and that hotel runs a reservation system from a third-party reservation system provider, as my name is plugged in, if I've leveraged the strength of our open API and done the integration, we can do a real-time sub-second lookup to gain wealth statistics on the individual checking in. We might also have it tuned and programmed to do other lifestyle attributes data checks. So perhaps if I'm checking into, I don't know, name your luxury hotel chain, the Ritz-Carlton, It could say, hello, sir. My screen tells me that you're a person that likes fine wines, so I'm going to have a bottle of French wine sent up to your room. I'm upgrading you to the higher suite because I see this is a person with a net worth of $15 million or above, and the Ritz-Carlton may have just opened up a location in Grand Cayman, and I might put a proactive offer out to comp this individual 2 nights free stay if they'll look at the condo complex while they're there. On an airline reservation, I might leverage the WealthEngine wealth statistics to make a proactive offer. I see you're traveling with your family to Hawaii. Well, for an extra $100 a piece, we can upgrade you to first class, and we can offer some other benefits. Everybody that walks into a Rolls-Royce car dealership or a Ferrari dealership or a BMW dealership, I plug in their name, and if I've gotten direct access into wealth scores, this same example continues to roll out. So I think we can see of these different application areas, real estate appointments. I'm on the phone. Somebody's moving into Bethesda, Maryland, where our offices are, and they call a broker. I can plug in that person's name right out of the gates, and I can gain some level of wealth statistics. And perhaps I can get a sense for if this is a person in a certain wealth category, I might direct them towards certain properties versus others. The whole goal and objective is to better know your prospect and better understand your customer and act in a way that is most personalized in the solutions or offers that you provide to them. This conveys from the commercial side as well as over to the nonprofit side of the business as well. The next slide gives a bit of an illustration of the types of fields that we would propagate through our API. And again, this is an example of an in-store retail customer qualification where the individual wealth scores, the P2G scores, come up with key wealth statistics. And for those of you that are users of WealthEngine, the P2G score will look very familiar to you, showing net worth, income, real estate values. And this could be tailored and tweaked to meet the specific needs of the particular customer of ours that's using the API. Perhaps some of those attributes around interests that are tied to the nonprofit make the most sense. So if this were a nonprofit example, it might be I want to call up whether they have interest in animal rights, mental health issues, human interest rights, et cetera, et cetera. So we can tailor and tweak this to pull from any one of the 2,100 different attributes and, of course, all of the different wealth scores that we provide on a regular basis. So how do I gain access to it? For those of you who have their pens out, it all starts here, dev.wealthengine.com. And this is just out on our regular website. Look up anybody's net worth in real time. We think that this level of innovation is going to give access to our customers at their fingertips the ability to better know their constituents and weave it into the fabric of their day-to-day business. So one of the things that we're most proud of are our customers. And if we could just take a moment here, Shannon has put together a few case studies that we can walk through. We did. So we're very proud of our customer successes. We have currently somewhere north of 3,700 active customers, and that number is ever increasing every day. Buccellati has been a client of ours for quite some time. They're a provider of fine jewelry, headquartered out of Milan, Italy, with locations here in the U.S. They're a very, very high-end luxury retailer of jewelry. and their branding is that we're not for everybody, and we're not meant to be. They are very, very focused in what they provide. We assisted Bucciolati over the past many years in providing analytics and predictive modeling for their existing customers. So we'll take, as we referenced a little bit earlier, information about their top customers, augment that, and then go off and assist Bucciolati in finding net new customers. And if you can see some of the graphics here, a few of the interesting data points came out of our screening, modeling, and analytics. We found that Bucciolati's best customers tend to be highly educated. They tend to be married. They tend to be very active around those life events, such as marriages, children, grandchildren, etc. They tend to be art aficionados. And they also tend to have an inclination towards equestrian activities, either ownership or events. So those are 4 key data points and nuggets that Bucciolati, prior to our analytics research, didn't really have a good handle on. So they've now modeled their marketing campaigns and their activities around this insight. So with a succinct picture of what their customer looks like, they're able to use the WealthEngine WeProspect solution to find like-minded customers in net new markets. This runs across who they partner with, the events they sponsor, and how they go to market. So we deliver the very precise data-driven marketing analytics, and with that data, our customers then can decide how to leverage it best to increase. We're going to be coming to close to the close, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the roadmap. So we believe that, tying right back to my opening comments, staying on the forefront of innovation is paramount to our success because it's paramount to your success. Knowing that your partners at WealthEngine are continuing to drive more and more R&D and more innovation gives you the faith that you're doing business with the right company. So late in this year, we're going to provide more point-and-click modeling. So what that means today, we're able to offer the finest modeling in the industry, some of which is automated and software-based, some of which is professional services-based. More and more, we're building our modeling into automated maps. So we'll be able to deliver to our customers the ability to hit a button and create a major gift model, hit a button and create models of key target customers that match perhaps a look-alike to existing best customers. So look for this in driving our innovation in the latter part of the year. Coming in the early part of next year, we're going to enhance our Circle of Friends capability. So WealthEngine was one of the first and leading companies to provide Circle of Friends connections and those networks, and we're going to reach out to the LinkedIn community and start to provide that, targeting people that your customers, your best customers know, whether this has attributes in the commercial side of business or nonprofit side of donations. Mid-next year, we're going to start providing listening capabilities in and around social media and monitoring. So you'll know exactly when to engage. Imagine if we were listening to how many tweets are there in any given day, 50 million tweets, and we were able to serve up the 500 tweets in which somebody mentioned a BMW or a dog that just broke his leg, and it showed an inclination towards animal health, or individuals that were interested in the disaster in Nepal, and we could serve that up to the Red Cross and the United Way and all those organizations that are providing fundraising efforts to help the citizens of Nepal. So this type of capability, again, we believe we will be in a class by ourselves upon release. And lastly, analyzing and scoring website traffic. So the company, WealthEngine, that provides lead scoring today, we hope to be able to do this in an even more direct and mass market way by analyzing website traffic. So it's an exciting path, our roadmap in the next 6 to 9 to 12 months, and it's a journey that we hope to go on together with all of you. So with that, I think we're getting close to the close. Shannon, why don't we open up for questions? And maybe even before we do that, if Tony is still on, Tony, would you care to offer any of your comments on some of the innovations that are coming around the bend, some of the innovations that we're delivering today, our API interface, WeProspect, and some of the other key strategies that we're delivering to our customers?
Yeah, Mark, I think you really nailed it in what you presented, and I just think I would only amplify just what you talked about. That we really see our company as an innovator in the marketplace, and that's where we, with our client as our central focus, that's where we want to continue to deliver products that really raise the game for our clients. And so WeProspect, the API, the sub-second response times that you're talking about, those things may not resonate with everybody, but what I would just amplify about it is that we're constantly looking at how we can better embed our services into our clients' business process through a better use of technology, through a better understanding of the data and how it works. So I think you really nailed it, and looking forward to answering whatever questions people have.
Excellent. Thanks, Tony.
Okay, well, thank you, Mark and Tony. So we did have a few questions that came in, and I do encourage everyone to, if you have any questions, you feel free to post them in the Q&A section. So going back probably towards the beginning of your presentation where you talked about WeProspect and email verification, we have a question that says, I'm really enthusiastic about using WeProspect and email, but my bandwidth is low. Can WealthEngine help with strategy and implementation?
So the answer is absolutely. That's a fairly common scenario in which we enlist the help of our professional services organization. They can help to develop a program and a strategy to help monitor results. So that's something we'd love to hear more about that need and share some of the best practices we've delivered for many others.
Okay. And speaking to personalization, you spoke about mass personalization earlier. It seems like it contradicts itself. Can you explain further?
Absolutely. And I'd like to take credit for coining that phrase, but I'm not the first. I know Gartner Group uses that phrase as well as many marketeers. The notion that getting the word out to hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of prospects, that's not new. That's mass marketing. But getting different, unique, and highly customized and tailored messages out to large audiences, that's when you start to get into mass personalization. So back to making sure that the messages going to the Logan family are those types of products, services, and charities that are most applicable for our needs and our interests. But getting that message out in a cost-effective way is what I categorize as mass personalization.
Thank you. Speaking to the API, is there a fee to test the API, and how would that work?
So no, there's no fee whatsoever. You go out to the developer's website, and just again, it's dev.wealthengine.com, and you sign up, and a test API will be set up for you. And you can actually use dummy data that's set up in a sandbox environment that to test the application. We will, in the early stages, have some help and hand-holding to assist with any questions. But for those of you who are third-party API savvy, you'll find that this is a fairly straightforward creation and integration. There's no cost to get started, and we're very, very actively recruiting interested parties.
Will we have a chance to focus in on the roadmap for the new API and its integrations to our CRM database like Salesforce?
Well, yes, and I think that many folks on the call probably already have or already know about our Salesforce integration. They're one of our leading partners. We're very excited about a partnership there that was really started many years ago and really hit an apex about 2 months ago when we released the tight integration of FindWealth 8 into the Salesforce platform. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to continue to expand on the field integration and the different sources of information that we can use to populate Salesforce. So that's a big area of focus for us, and I would encourage anybody with either an existing Salesforce implementation that is interested in that integration or somebody that's considering it, please do reach out to your WealthEngine salesperson, and they can walk you through exactly where we are.
Okay. Next question speaks to WeProspect, which says, can we check for individuals that own commercial real estate worth over $5 million?
Absolutely. We should run maybe the next Shannon. Maybe the next webinar will be really focused on WealthEngine, on WeProspect. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different attributes that we can pull queries. I gave two very simple illustrations of finding a group of high net worth individuals with certain interests in San Diego and another example in Miami Beach. But number of homes, locations of homes, value of homes, those are all attributes that we could search on in the WeProspect solution.
Okay. Do you require us to provide the data, or do you already have a database to help analyze what we need?
Well, so we have, I think I understand the question. We can certainly help with our professional services organization. We can help to analyze exactly what you need with some of your guidance. So depending upon the levels of detail and specificity in that question, that's certainly an area that we could help out with.
Okay. So I think we've gone through the bulk of our questions, and I just wanted to thank Tony and thank Mark so much for the great information and going over what's going on with WealthEngine. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise, and I wanted to remind everyone attending on this call that we will be sending out the slides and the recording within 24 hours of this presentation. To learn more about WealthEngine, please visit us at www.wealthengine.com, and thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Shannon. Thank you, everybody.